Welcome, everybody, to the Two versus Brother podcast. We have a very special guest today, a man that we never thought would ever be a part of this podcast, Danny.
How's it going, fellas? How's it going?
Good, man.
Well,
Good.
well.
Danny the Fly Vázquez. Man.
The most hated man in all of fantasy football right now. How does it feel?
It's they hate us because they ain't us. It's always been like this. Normally, the no-name team Alfredo hates me. I got Franklin hating me right now. We'll find out if he's gonna hate me or love me in the next few minutes.
All right, we could check that out in the next few minutes. See how that goes. So, Alfredo,
I'm telling you this, Danny. You've been through a tough road to make it to the first time ever to the finals. How many years you been in the Guru League?
10 maybe. I don't know. Whenever the year after Franklin supposedly won.
The Asterisk title, the 2012. Yeah, man. So, this is your first final, so you're right there on top of the world. With an excellent team, man.
Thank you.
Now, from what I'm looking at, it looks to me like for the most part, you drafted pretty well. Anybody that has a CMC on their team pretty much is making the playoffs. But
the MVP.
The MVP of the league. I agree. Because the only other person that I think could have given a CMC run for the money is Jettas, and he got hurt. So this is where we're at. But I did want to ask you some questions now regarding your first 8 weeks in the league. I did some math, and you have a total of 876 total points. So You did pretty well. It's an average of 109 points.
So, Danny loves his average and his stats, so you're in his world.
This is why I decided to bring it in, because I'm sure you know these stats. Now, the second 8 weeks, which week 9 is, from my understanding, is when you made the trade for Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh, here we go.
It's the next week, the second 8 weeks. I had to include the screw job week, so I had to add your points for that week. But from what I see, it's an average. It's 959 points and an average of 120.
Okay.
So, regarding the Amon-Ra St. Brown trade, tell me how that pretty much transformed your team.
I mean, the St. Brown trade, I will say this. I pretty much gave up Kenneth Walker and Olave for St. Brown. And outside of 2 weeks where he outperformed both, it was not a terrible trade. Kenneth Walker got hurt. Olave picked it up like we all thought he would.
Yep.
I wouldn't say that any of the trades I did this year were crazy. If Franklin loves to say the Jetta trade was ridiculous, Jetta still hasn't outscored Gibbs any given week, and we're 6-7 weeks past that trade. So I don't know what he has to say about that.
Yeah, no. To me, the Jettas trade, it's been a long time. He I think like 3 weeks that he didn't even play, and then he played 1 week. He got hurt, and then he was gone. So it kind of rings true what Steven said pretty much on that segment of the podcast that you came up with, the hot takes, that he wouldn't play another down in the league. Not in this league, this year of the league. So now, any other players that you were targeting that's not Amon-Ra St. Brown that you're trying to trade for?
I think he was asking the whole league, everybody.
I knew what Alfredo had in Rashad White, and I tried everything I could to get Rashad White from him. Everything I could, bro, and Alfredo would not budge.
Bro, that inbox of mine, bro, it was full, man. It was like offers after offers.
Oh,
I mean,
we're not gonna act like half those offers weren't you sending Taylor or Trevor Lawrence for like CMC, right? Or
hey man, those only ones, man. One.
It's
But
all
Danny,
good.
I mean, with the whole trade and with with Saint Brown, I mean, do you categorize yourself as a good trade person, good salesman?
I will say this, that I do send some offers that are a little crazy.
Okay.
I personally don't think I got any of those this year. Nothing like I would say the most questionable one is the St. Brown trade. And it's not even that lopsided if you look at it fully. Zay Flowers has been doing great as well, and he was also taken in that trade.
Yeah, but just to push back on that a little bit, you kind of unloaded your bench to get Amon-Ra St. Brown, because the real trade was Amon-Ra St. Brown and Aaron Jones for Kenneth Walker and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Everything else that came after
No,
that
right,
was just
right.
unloading the bench.
Walker and Olave for St. Brown and Jones.
And Jones.
There
I
you go.
mean, I think you benefited from that.
Oh,
No,
I
you could.
benefited, but we also have to see Jones didn't play. Jones hasn't played until last week, which I didn't trust to start him. He
Yeah.
didn't play at all that whole time.
Was there
No.
any moment in that conversation with Deeds that he just gave up and he says, "Yes, fine, I'll accept your trade offer"? Were you like constantly insisting?
Did you go
No,
to this man's
I,
house?
I was constantly insisting on it. I sent him an offer, and he was like, "Oh man, I'm so close to taking it, but I don't know if I could." And then I added another player on top, and he said yes. So I was like, okay.
All
Okay,
right.
okay, good,
Anyone
good.
in my core starters, like yeah, we were getting towards that point that I don't is going for studs at that point. So I was getting rid of everything I could to go get my.
No, no, I get it, man. To build the studs that you have, man,
Yeah.
and you have a heck of a team. Now,
Yeah.
Danny, I know the main reason why you're here, and basically, I mean, you have created some chaos. Going back, let's go back. Let's walk back to a few weeks ago, before week 14, when you and Steven had this master plan. Confirming this was your idea, right? When you had that conversation with Steven.
Um, like I'm numbers wise, I look at all the numbers, see all the opportunity we could do with the numbers, and I saw that I had an opportunity to still get a bye week and bench my team, which would either give me the bye or give me a good matchup against you or
ARP.
AARP. So
Okay.
I've been one to do it in the past. I benched my team on the last week of the season to get a better matchup in the semis. Just
Okay.
happened that Deeds couldn't get it done against Franklin, and then he really would have been crying, man. If he
But let me. But the thing is, the way it looks like that there was some form of collusion. I imagine you know what the word collusion means, right,
Sure.
Danny? Of course, you know. Was there any conspiring between both of you to screw Franklin? Because it looked from the outside that you guys were going to team up and keep Franklin out of his bye week, and basically, make him go through the tough road.
Yeah, well, we 100% colluded in that point to attempt to do that. Did we
So
go through with the collusion by starting the team? I don't believe that's going through with the collusion. And in my point is, I told you, like you guys said, you even told me, you and Franklin both said he was gonna screw me. He was gonna start his team and I would lose. And I said, like, if he does, he does. It's not a big deal because I don't mind my matchups. It's a play. I'm playing to I'm playing to make Franklin's life, who was a good team at that point, more difficult. He
okay,
either goes to the first round and has a chance to lose, or I'll take my chances in the first round and see what happens.
so you did like a chess move.
Yeah, hey, you've been saying I'm playing checkers all year, and that last chess move may have taken Franklin out if I don't give him that opportunity.
Man, I mean, trust me, you're creating some chaos, bro. Even in that household, I think they can't even hear your name, bro. Before after the stuff that that you can do to them, man. I mean, I'll tell you this: if things would have gone differently, the matchup would have been, and what people are saying
Mm.
is, if you and Steven wouldn't have colluded, now that you confirmed that there was some form or attempt to do it, the semifinals was gonna be Alex versus Franklin. You were gonna face KMA, and then Franklin was gonna beat ARP. You were beating KMA, and that you were gonna face off in the final. So let's say from Franklin's point of view, he feels that he's got screwed because of based on your plan.
I would say he has a better point if we actually tied. If we actually tied and there wasn't a winner, there wasn't a loser, I think there would be a better point to that. Because who's to say I wasn't gonna throw the game on purpose and start all my bums and just not score and let Steven win? Because there isn't we haven't had a rule. If we want to have one going forward, I agree with. I don't care. I don't have no issues with it. But last year, I believe I did the same thing and through the last week of the year to play somebody.
Yep. Yep.
So it's the same situation that I technically did it. It could have ended up hurting Franklin, and we ended up playing a week earlier when he has all the bad matches.
No, yeah. I think
Right.
last year what you did is that you wanted to be in my side of the bracket to face me in the semis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, look, I've understood the whole reasoning why, but the thing is that when we're talking about collusion, is two players getting together to say, you know what you and me have a shared interest in getting something done. Which, in all actuality, something getting done was screwing Frank. So let's be real here. This was the plan. It didn't go as you wanted because Steven is the one that is saying that it was your plan from the beginning. Now, you said right now that you did this in the past. No one helped you. You did it by yourself. Now, at this point, you're colluding with Steven to screw another player.
I I agree. I agree. I did. I am guilty of conspiracy to collude.
you know,
Of collude.
you can't get this guy, bro. You can't get this guy,
This guy,
bro.
bro.
Yo, man.
All you got is conspiracy bubble. That's it.
It's just a conspiracy. Well, Danny. I mean, obviously, you kind of like you already said it. Let's talk about next week. You're in the finals for sure. You're gonna be having the opportunity to be first time champion. And the main question that everybody's gonna ask or is asking, and this is your moment to explain who else is gonna be with you in the finals. Is
Yeah.
it gonna be KMA by himself, or is it gonna be KMA and Franklin and you for a triple threat match?
Yeah.
Your decision, Danny.
I've heard. I understand Franklin's side, and because I get his side. I want I want to be the true champion, and the only way for that really to happen is I'm gonna take my talents to the finals against only KMA.
Okay.
Enjoy Cancun, Franklin.
Wow.
Well,
Now, go pick. Sorry.
all right. Would you, if that's the case, you deny the triple threat to Franklin? Franklin is enjoying Cancun. Are you okay for the rest of this? For the rest of time that we have this fantasy football gurus league, then you will have to defend this championship because of the asterisk that's going to be next to your name.
He can put an asterisk all he wants. The plan for my team, I'm still giving that speech in the locker room that we have to go outscore everybody. I would love to hear Franklin say something about this championship if I can go ahead and win it and be the highest scoring team each of the rounds of the playoffs.
Okay.
I would love it. You know, I'm still gonna go lead the charge. We got a good team that we gotta play up against. And but it
You
ain't
know,
Frank.
I remember in WWE the triple threat that never happened. Stone Cold, The Rock, and Triple H. They had an opportunity to face off, and Stone Cold got hurt and
Mm-hmm.
ended up being someone else. And that triple threat match never happened. And even 30 years from that, people are still asking, what if they would have had that triple threat match? So, Danny, you don't have that in your mind as we analyze GOAT status, and we analyze that, man, if I would have given Franklin that matchup, because maybe, most likely, you're going to win the triple threat match.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put you in a 10-way match. You're most likely going to score more points than everybody. Then,
Mm-hmm.
so what does it cost you to just add Franklin
You
into
know, I'm honestly I'm doing this for Franklin's health
it?
because I don't think he could take losing to me back to back weeks in the playoffs for the rest of eternity. That he will never forget that.
Well, let's play a little devil's advocate on this one. Yes, you are likely to outscore KMA because right now KMA is going into the finals week because he's missing Keenan Allen. I don't know what the update
Oh,
is on him. Mm-hmm. He
oh,
looks like he's out. So I don't know what if there's any update because he did miss out last week, and so I don't know if there's anything else to that. Now, if he goes into that matchup and you beat him, but Franklin not being in the triple threat actually outscores you, then there's an asterisk on your name. But if Franklin does not outscore you,
There's going to be
then you are
questions.
the true champion.
he can have an asterisk all he wants. Hey, if that happens and Franklin outscores me next week, we do have to ask this question. Was that not the greatest chess move of all time? Benching your team week 14 and forcing Franklin against myself in week 16?
No, yeah, no, it was, it would be. But wouldn't you want to? I mean, your first title, a title is hard enough. You're talking to someone who hasn't won, and right, and there's one person here that has won. I mean, I would do whatever it takes to get a title. And can you believe that after going through all of that, and then I'm gonna have some asterisks to my one title? You know, at least you can be in peace that you're a champion, a real champion, if you do end up outscoring everybody.
You know, I hope that I outscore everybody. But there's only one guy in the score sheet that I have to outscore, and it's KMA. That's what it is. I'm still gonna raise the Super Bowl trophy. You know, if I end up outscoring KMA, Franklin can say all he wants, but if he starts talking, his championship is a whole lot more questionable than any of ours.
Okay.
Well, no, no. I mean, look, there's a lot of questions of you know that people are going to be asking. It's not only Franklin. There's going to be other. K
Indeed.
May even said it. Let's do a triple threat match. I would like to see a triple threat match. It's something different, something new.
Mhm.
Pedro, I don't know what his thought about it, but it's something to take advantage. And people are going to be. They're not going to be acknowledging you as a champion, Danny.
That's fine. I'm not asking to be the GOAT. If win or lose, my my top candidate for the GOAT is Jonathan right now.
Yeah,
And the
Mhm.
guy I'm facing the GOAT in my
yeah,
this
he is.
without his first round. It took Franklin 2 first-round picks, one gifted to him, to win a championship, and KMA is out here in the finals without his first round pick for more than half the year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's to me,
Back to
he's
back.
a great year, back to back too.
First
Back
time.
to back. Okay. No. Absolutely. I mean, go. I think for right now it will be KMA.
No,
Okay.
now let's just say that in this, because the league is putting this to a vote, um, let's say that now you are forced to be going against Franklin and going against KMA. Because right now, I posted the video. You're going in as Goldberg right now with like everybody's coming after you because you're the one that's putting up the points.
Yeah.
Now, if you are forced to go into this match like this, what will be your comment towards that?
I'm gonna pull a Steven here. I won't be back next year. If that's
Bro, are you gonna at least
not
give?
that,
Are
but
you gonna at least give us some? You're doing the same tendency again of benching your players. We
oh
have no idea what's the projections. It's like, is this like a superstition type of thing? You're 2-0 ever since you've been doing that.
no, this is just I'm letting the league have what they want. KMA's winning. I'm benching my team. They're not showing up this week to play.
Man, this guy.
Oh well.
Uh, man, I haven't decided. You have to earn your roster spot, even
Oh,
in CMC.
okay.
They're
And
out there.
I remember Danny, one of his iconic moments, and we're about to finish here already, but one of his most iconic moments was when he dropped by mistake DeAndre Hopkins, and and Franklin, out of his good heart, was able to give you the player back. Um, but I remember those days, and Danny, he was upset. And there were some people in the league that didn't want to give it to him.
I remember that moment. I will never pick up Dustin Hopkins again as DeAndre Hopkins. But I was very here's my thing. There's been a lot of concessions in the league over time. We can start off with that one for myself. We can start out with last year, the championship that they came to an agreement, and the agreement was placed into the league. And here's even yourself, Alfredo. Like this year, you did the cup trade. You got the concession back to you, and my thing is all these concessions, all these fixes, were all done within a day, maybe a day to 3 days within the actions that have been talked about. And when the benching came in week 14, the punishment was laid out within a day to 3 days already. Like you guys all spoke about if you're gonna revert the lineups or if you guys wanna just give punishments and then we'll figure it out.
Mhm.
I said I will accept anything, but it was our commissioner, our beloved commissioner, that came out and said, "No, you screwed me and you screwed yourself. We're not changing back the lineups." But look at this: 3 weeks down the line, comes time for the finals, and now he wants to switch back the lineups.
So you insinuating that the commissioner is using his emotions
Oh,
into
ese Fidel, bro.
the. Oh man, he is a beloved commissioner, and we hope he doesn't retire. I told him, be prepared that Danny might say no, and just start booking your trip. Tell the girls, you know, go to Cancun. I'll tell you, Cancun is great. We just got back from Cancun. It
Yeah.
was great.
A
So
plus
he'll
plus.
probably enjoy. He can disconnect himself. Um, Maybe you will have no idea what that is because you'll probably win it. So nobody's gonna send you to Cancun, but maybe that's what he should do. But he'll be back. The season. I'm a little bit disappointed. I would have loved the triple threat match. I
Mm-hmm.
think it'll be the right ending to the season. But again, the decision is yours. and we'll leave it at that then.
Do you believe if Franklin beat me this week, would this be a conversation? That
No.
I would have played Franklin in the second to last week of playoffs.
No.
No, I wouldn't be mentioned. No.
Like,
No.
but let's be real. At the same time, anybody who would have thought back while the things were happening, because you said that usually any punishments are done within the first 3 or 4 days. Danny Franklin allowed this to go through because this is what you guys did. You guys didn't cheat, but unfortunately, you guys cheated other people by colluding because you would have won that matchup.
But again, I was open to benching already. It's a tendency thing for me. I've done it in the past.
But did
Like,
you not come to Steven and tell him, let's bench our players because that will screw Franklin, and I want to see Franklin get screwed. Basically,
conspiracy.
yeah. Hey, Nixon got taken down by a conspiracy. Okay, Nixon got taken down by a conspiracy. So,
yeah, man. Hey, man, look at Donald Trump. Keeps on getting, with all this collusion. But no, man. Hey, the intent was there. Now, I mean, you said that there was no intent and whatever. We'll leave it at that. I think
intent was there. Execution off.
Execution.
Yes, it was not executed to your plan because of a wild card named Steven. But I've pretty much said that Steven is like the Joker of this league. So chaos.
I became the villain now.
Yeah, man. Well, Danny, anything else you want to add?
All I have is one word, like one phrase I'd like to say, Franklin, I'm sorry. Checkmate.
Okay. Again, before we hang up, this is your last opportunity. Are you changing your mind, Danny?
No, not at all.
Now, if you were to be forced to have to face Franklin and KMA, you will retire?
I'm not gonna be like Steven and Franklin saying I'm retiring, I'm leaving the chat every 5 seconds. I'm not, but it would be some definitely sketchy commissioner stuff that we would need to figure out there.
Okay. I'll accept that.
Okay. Pedro, anything else you need to add?
No, just the usual, everybody. This is the Two versus Brothers podcast, having Danny on for the first time, hopefully not the last, after some sketchy stuff that's happened in the past. But here we are. No collusion from what he is saying, only a conspiracy to collude that did not happen. And I'll tell this guy, but here we are. Franklin,
it was conspiracy to collude. That was what he said.
I'm guilty of that. I'm definitely guilty.
It's conspiracy to collude.
Franklin to Cancun.
Yep.
All right, Danny. Well, good luck. Thank you.
All right, fellas. Thank you,
everybody.
Today.
All right. Bueno, man.
Dale.
Bye.